right. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkins, and this is Your Best Life Defined. Let's do this thing. I used to have this saying. I remember I'd walk around the prison, and the impression that most people have about prison is you spend your time fighting and chasing people, and there's always a scam, and you got to watch your back. They're going to stab you and kill you if you work there. Not true. Not true at all. Is it dangerous? Yeah, it can be very dangerous. You have to pay attention to your business, but most of working in a prison is about how you come across to the guys that you supervise, right? The guys that are in prison, because there's somewhat of a warrior mentality in prison, right? The weak don't survive in prison. So when I started, and for me, it wasn't just prison, but the reason I was so successful in prison was because I had a hell of a lot of confidence. And I think that confidence came from all of the struggles that I had faced even before I was in the workforce. As a kid, as a child, God, we moved 3, 4 times a year. I was always the new kid, and you know what came or what comes with being the new kid. People scrutinize you. There's always someone wants to beat you up. It's a tough life, right? So I gained this confidence back as a young man, and it just kind of carried with me. So law enforcement was actually the ideal career for me because what I had both the confidence to do the job, but I also had the experience with regard to being on the wrong side of the tracks and how life can be sometimes. So it allowed me to have empathy for the people that I took care of, and it really worked well. But I remember one of the statements I would make. People would laugh about it, but I'd say, you know what? I'm the best thing that ever happened to me, and I believe that. I believe that. It's kind of an ironic statement, and people think it's funny, but it's not. It's actually the truth. In order for you to achieve success in anything, the first thing you have to do is be able to believe that you're the best thing that ever happened to you. Because you have to believe in yourself when the rest of the world doesn't believe in you. This is the up and down struggle that you face, or most people face, when they step outside the box and they decide to do things that other people aren't doing. And that's why it's so easy and so comfortable to stay inside your box. You didn't get any ridicule. Chances are you didn't anyway. You didn't get ridiculed for the fact that you bought your home, right? Oh, great. That's a great idea. Oh, great. Yeah, cool. Right? Great. But if you had told your parents, hey, listen, we're going to buy a fifth wheel and hit the road, they'd have thought you were nuts. And you wouldn't get any support. That's because the only person that matters in this equation for success is you. Ultimately, it comes down to you having the ability to believe in you. And that's where the motivation and the drive comes for you to change your life. I go out there every day. Me and my daughter, she's a little more self-conscious about what I do because I go out to the park every day and I do push-ups and pull-ups, and then I spend usually about an hour doing calisthenics or stretching, and then I do martial arts. I do practice spinning kicks and heel kicks and punching and all that, and I go over my techniques from my days as a Kempo instructor. It's actually really cool for me, but from the outside, I imagine it looks ridiculous. Here's this old man, 59 years old, and I don't view myself as being old. I'm a strong-ass guy for as old as I am, right? I still have a lot of skills. But from the outside, people are like, that's crazy. But the reason I'm able to do that is because I have the confidence to say I don't give a damn what anybody thinks. I enjoy what I'm doing. It's not harming anybody, and actually it's making my life better because I feel immensely better when I move like that, right? This podcast, doesn't matter what anyone thinks. You can tune in and say, well, it kind of sucks. He doesn't have much to say. It's not very funny. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to get you off your butt and get you to realize that there is another way to live your life, right? And it really, what it comes down to is you don't have to believe in this. That's not what determines whether it shows up, whether it continues. It's whether I believe in it. And it's liberating because all of a sudden I'm not encumbered. My thoughts aren't of what you think. My thoughts are of, is that right? What do I think? Am I being honest? Does this really work? And I can tell you, yes, it does. If I ask you to send me $20 and I'll send you a few pages of this and you get something in your hand, if that's what it takes to motivate you to take a look at your life and have the confidence to change something in your life, I'll be more than glad to do it. I don't mind a $20 bill. But that's not what I'm doing. Show up every day because I believe in me. I show up every day because I've lived what I'm sharing with you, and I know it works. Not a difficult equation. Would you rather spend more time doing what you love than what you hate? Is it worth it for you to bust your ass to do things that you love, to have goals and achieve goals that inspire you and add value to your life? What's cool is you don't need to be like me. You don't need to be like your neighbors. You don't need to be like your mom and dad. You don't need to be like your friends. You need to be like you. In order for that to happen, you have to believe in yourself. Because no one is going to do it for you. I don't care where you're sitting right now in your life or what your life looks like. I guarantee you, no one is going to show up and say, hey, listen, get out of the way. I'll help you because you don't have it figured out. That's not going to happen. COVID-19 came, guess what? The people who managed to navigate that, who believed in themselves and their ability to adapt, who chose not to sit still and just watch things come at them, decided to get out of the way, make a new plan, they're doing fine. They're doing fine. I remember working with the young guys. It was really kind of peculiar for me because I didn't understand it at first. But here I'm working with the guys. They're about 25, 30 years old. And by this time, I mean, I was teaching computer-aided drafting. And I spent a lot of time talking to the guys. And by this time, I had already done tons of things in my life. And I was talking about this adventure, about selling my house and some of the other plans I had. It didn't encompass a podcast because I didn't know I was going to do a podcast until we actually talked about it here during COVID-19. But what amazed me was how unsure these young men were to make a choice, to make a decision in a direction. They were they wanted to know everything about it before they took action. They were frozen by fear. And I always ask them, do you believe you can do it? Those who said, I don't know, were feared with hesitation. It froze them. You'll never change anything about your life for the better until you believe in yourself. Because you're the most important equation. What's cool is it doesn't matter what it is. Years ago, when I started this quest, back when my dad died, I'm looking at my life and I'm thinking, God, I got to do something different. My life is sucking. I'm pissing days away, being angry and blaming the world for my own life. And then one day I woke up and I said, I got to change something. And it was only in my belief that I could change it that I did. Come on, guys, you know me. If you worked with me at the federal prison, you know who I was. That guy's gone. That guy's dead. I don't have time to be angry and pissed off, and I don't have time to blame the world for my life. And the way I was able to transform it was I believed I could. I believed in me. I said, you know what? I would tell I remember when my wife and I first started working on our relationship, and I'm talking about to where it is now, started changing directions to where it is now, right? I remember it was weird. She didn't know what to expect. The first time I told her, I says, listen, I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to get mad anymore. I just can't do it. I'm going to change something. I'm going to start listening to you. What do you need from me in order for us to make your life better, to alleviate your concerns, to stop whatever it is, to change whatever I need to stop you from crying? Because obviously you're upset, right? She just looks at me. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm not yelling anymore. And I didn't. Was it easy? Did it come all at once? No. But once I set my mind to that idea that I can have an amazing relationship with this person and she can truly become my best friend, and I believed it, it became what I wanted. It became what I wanted because I knew once I got her on my side, once we became the team that we should have always been, anything is possible. I mean, my relationship is perfect? No. Because external influences, there are things that we hold on to that add some dynamic to it that we just have to work out. But it will never be like it was. I'm not here to tell you to change your life or tell you what to change in your life. I'm just say, hey, try something. Okay, maybe 70% of your life sucks. Take that number down to 65%. Do something that you can get behind, that you can take action on every day, that will actually lead you to a place where you can say, hell yeah, all right, well, this sucks and that sucks, but guess what? I get to do this. I get to work on this. I learned this. I taught someone this. I changed someone's life. It's okay if it's your life. You can change someone's life. Change your life. Change it to something that's better. What does better mean? I don't know. What's your better? Take a look at what you do during the day and think about if there's anything you would rather be doing at that time. Does that mean you get to change everything about your life? Maybe not. Maybe you can't quit your job. I couldn't quit my job at the federal prison no matter how bad it got because I was in it. The benefits were great. I got paid a lot of money. And there were a lot of times when I actually enjoyed what it was I did. But that didn't mean I had to come home and be angry. That didn't mean I had to come home and drink a 12-pack of beer or try and drain a kegerator. Didn't mean I had to come home and be pissed off or hate my life because I don't like mowing lawn. What it meant is that for those things that I didn't enjoy about my life, I could eliminate them. And I did. People think you're crazy for living in the fifth wheel. Am I? Where did you spend last July? I was in Bar Harbor, Maine, eating fresh lobster, watched them drop it in the pot. Where were you at last winter? I was in Yuma, Arizona on a 9-hole golf course, hanging out, meeting people, playing pickleball. And what was cool about it is the only way that happened was because when we and Sandy sat down and we got to talking about it, we believed we could do it. I believed in her. I believed in her ability to support me and to say, you know what, we'll get through this together, and to be able to adapt to whatever we encountered. And guess what we have? What do you believe in? What do you believe? Here's the other thing. The saddest experience, or the saddest thing I've witnessed over the last year, is how many people have expended so much energy believing in other people when their own lives were in disarray. If I'm going to put effort into anyone, I'm going to put effort into me first, because I can only be as good for you as I am for me, right? And here I am, I'm watching the country fall apart, and I'm looking at people who are so distracted by the stories of other people, and they're putting so much energy into this whole effort that has nothing to do with them. And in the meantime, what's happening to your life? Disconnection because you have beliefs that aren't yours? You're going to believe in something, believe in you, for God's sake. If you want to make someone successful, if you want to make someone rise to the pinnacle of success, hell, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe that should be you. I'm bringing you along, but don't mistake that. I'm working on me too. This is a game I'm playing. This is my plan. And I share it with you because it can be your plan. But whether it is or not doesn't stop where I'm taking this, right? Because if I'm going to believe in something, I'm going to believe in me. That's what this is about. That's what living your best life is all about. It's about avoiding the distractions long enough for you to be able to see what is out there, what is possible for you. Some of you will get it. Some of you are ready for it. Some of you are probably sitting back right now thinking to yourself, God, I can do something different. There are things I would love to do. There are things I would love to experience. There is a life that's waiting for me, and I can do it. All you have to do now is pick it, take action on it, and evaluate it. If it doesn't work out the way you planned, make adjustments and try again. The only reason I know that I'm going to be successful in this podcast and I'm going to be famous and my goal to change lives is happening is because I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up, because I believe that with all of the energy that comes from what I'm doing and the effort that I put into it, eventually it's going to become what it needs to become so that the world can hear this message. The cool part is it doesn't cost you anything. Show up. Say hi. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know what you're about and what you think of the podcast. I'd love to know more than that what you're working on to add value to your life. What thing are you going after? Are you fighting for? Because it's about who you are and where you want to be. It's that thing you've broken away from the narrative of this is enough. Got the house, the car, the kids, all the stuff. Go for it. Today is the perfect day to go for it. I challenge you. And at the end, when you're standing on top of your mountain and you're going, hell yeah, look what we did. I can stand there too. I say, see, bam, I told you. Keep it in mind. Let's not forget the kindness. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.